Okay, this is assignment 3.3 Inventor pattern. So we're going to learn how to do the rectangular and the circular pattern for this one. So I'm just going to work you through each of these. I'm going to make a video for each one individually. So first we'll do the pegboard or an ice cube tray. So in Inventor, start a new object, create. All right, so we're going to start with a sketch. And for this one, I'd recommend using this plane down here. Get a rectangle going. So up here on top left, we'll get the rectangle tool. And I'm just going to pick an easy size. So let's say like 6 inches wide and 12 inches long. So 6 by 12 for a tray. And I'll hit enter. And finish sketch. So this part, we're just going to extrude the tray part just a tiny bit, say 0.5 or so, half an inch sounds good. And the measurements really aren't super important to this one. Really for any of these, it's kind of just, except for the Lego. But, so you can change these as you go if you'd like. So I'm going to start a pattern up here, or start another sketch up here on the top. And I'm just going to draw one little rectangle right here. And we'll make it a square. So we'll say 1, tab, 1, enter. And I'm also going to use my dimension tool to make sure that this is about an inch from the side, or half an inch from the side, 0.5. And then this one is also half an inch, 0.5, enter, and finish. So once I've got that, I'll go up to extrude up here. Extrude this, let's say another half inch is probably good, 0.5, and then click OK. So what we're going to try and do here is make a pattern of this rectangle, or this little cube space across the whole board. So up here on the top in the pattern section, you've got rectangle pattern and circular pattern. So for this one, we're going to do rectangle. Click there, and we have to do a couple things. First, we have to define what it is we're making a pattern of, and then second, we have to define the directions that the patterns are going to go. So right here, first we've got this clicked, and then I'm going to say direction 1, and I can click an edge. So I can do this long edge or the short edge. I'll do the short edge first. And notice how this little green thing popped up right here, and it's saying, hey, look, this is what I'm going to try and create. And there's an arrow here as well. So I can flip the direction back and forth. I don't want it to go that way. I want it to go the other way. So I'll flip it with this button right here. Flip. And then there's a couple of things down here on this side. You've got the number of iterations, or the number of copies we want to make. So it's a unitless number, so it's just how many of that shape we want to make. So I'm going to say like 4. And notice how they're all squished up together. We want to give them some spacing, so the next part right here is the spacing. And I'm going to say, let's space at 1.5. That looks pretty good. Not too bad. It goes right up to the edge there, so maybe, let's see what 3 looks like. 3 and a 2-inch spacing. That's better. Okay, I like that a little more. So 3-inch, 2-inch, 3 iterations, 2-inch spacing. I'll click OK, or not OK yet. Next I have to do the direction. So I'll click direction right here, click this edge, and it's going to start going this way. I can flip it back and forth this way, so in case it goes the wrong way, I can always change the direction. I'm going to change this to like 6 iterations, and then do the spacing of 2 inches again. And before I click OK, I'm just going to float around and see if that looks pretty good. Looks good to me, so I'll click OK. Boom, look what we have made. We made ourselves a little, looks kind of like a Lego right now. We're going to turn it into an ice cube tray. So this is actually looking at it from the bottom. We've oriented, so this is the top right now, but we can just flip it over. And, excuse me, so when we do this, there's a nice tool up here called shell. So right next to the hole and fillet, there's this one right here called shell. Shell's pretty cool. It will hollow out a a shape that we've created or a solid. So we click shell, and then I click this bottom surface. Right here, it's going to say how thick do we want to make that face, and it defaults to 1/10 of an inch, and that's fine for what we're doing. So we'll click OK. Check it out. It hollowed it out. So now we have an ice cube tray.